on.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Everyone can hear me, right? Occasionally I lose my voice, so I'm trying not to lose it today. I'm trying my best. One gentleman wanted to be here today, but unfortunately he's out in Connecticut, Rich Carlson. So I have Piers over here. He's my head lifeguard. He's going to speak on behalf of Rich.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Derek just said, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Piers Giles and I'm the head lifeguard at the lake this year. Though he could not be with us to celebrate Matt's memory, Mr. Rich Carlson asked me to convey his deepest regret for being unable to attend the ceremony today. And Rich asked me to say a few words on his behalf, and I'd like to share those with you now. When my family first moved into Alpine section back in 1997, and Dawn and Jay were one of the first to welcome us to the neighborhood, the lake, and Alpine Pool. They helped our son Richie secure a lifeguard job here at Alpine, where he rose to become a lifeguard supervisor. Richie then helped train Matt to become a lifeguard, and then eventually a lifeguard supervisor. Matt continued the tradition of having our sons and daughters become lifeguards. We've had many siblings and one families here at the lake continue in the lifeguarding. They take on the responsibility to watch over the younger ones. It is this village concept where everyone in our neighborhood takes responsibility to help raise our children and help others. We are truly a great community. So I think it's only fitting to honor one of our own sons, Matt Lanigan, with a small token of recognition and appreciation in dedicating this lifeguard station here at Alpine, where it all started.
Before I get started, I'd like to thank everyone here for making this day possible. I know a lot of you guys made a travel a great distance to be here. So on behalf of Lake Mohawk and on behalf of the members of the Country Club, I'd like to thank you guys for spending your afternoon with us. I'd also like to thank my new neighbor, Alex DeFole. He was the one who actually made our new lifeguard chair. They just moved to the community back in, I think, January, and he was able to build a new chair for us. He also built a new chair at Happy Valley because I accidentally got on the chair and it broke, so oops. There's a lot of people I'd also like to thank as well. First, I'd like to thank John Stanley and the Board of Trustees of Lake Mohawk Country Club for allowing this ceremony and for the plaque that will be on this lifeguard chair for years to come. I will reveal that at the end. I would also like to thank everyone that left their house this morning to show up here today. And lastly, I'd like to thank the Lanigan family for making this day come true.
Thank you.
Welcome. Last week, I was at Lake Mohawk Pool talking to our general manager and club engineer. They joked about how they can now add painting on an Olympic-sized pool to their resume. We know with any job, there are occasions where you do something that is never on the job description. I don't think John Stanley ever envisioned himself painting an Olympic-sized pool while serving as the general manager. Instead, he did it out of love. This is one of those instances with me. I never thought I would put a service like this together while serving as an aquatic director. Instead, I did it out of love. There's no better venue for this event to happen than an Alpine Pool. When I think of Alpine Pool, I think of the tan lifeguard with the leprechaun tattoo on his arm that has spent several hours here every summer. Matt was a man of 1,000 stories. Everyone agree with that? Several people involved in this crowd were he was talking about. I have to say, I'm a little nervous about this presentation I'm making right now. It's not about the public speaking. I feel as though I don't know him as well as the people that I'm looking at right now. However, during the duration of today, that statement will be altered. When I first started lifeguarding Lake Mohawk, one of the first beaches I worked at was at Alpine Pool. I had a minor dilemma. I live over by Sleepy Lagoon right on West Shore Trail, and by bicycle, and if I didn't get lost, it would take me about 30-35 minutes to get here by bike. One of those days I was working with Matt. He pointed me down the hill over there. He told me if I walked down by the hill, I'd be here within, it's a quarter mile of a walk, and I could be here within 15 minutes. Last year I had to tell one of the lifeguards that. One mistake I made is I had to say, should wear shoes. They walked up here in sandals, so.
Did you well.
Oops. I attended Lanigan Valley Regional High School, and the vast of my staff that worked here were either Sparta or Pope John. So I was the new guy. I didn't really get to know any of the staff. But Matt welcomed me with open arms, because he had someone to talk to for the next 6 hours. Whenever I saw my name on the schedule at Alpine Pool, I prayed that I worked with Matt. Our personalities were very similar, and we got along very well. Matt was practically the neighbor, or was the mayor of Alpine Pool. He knew everybody. He was always in the water playing with the kids. It was clear that he was in charge of the beach, and the hours would fly by whenever I worked with him. This is the funny part. There was one thing that Matt did not like about this place. Alpine used to have this 2-foot slide by the shallow end of the water. I don't know why, but it drove him crazy. Whenever he was here, he would ask the kids to do him a little favor. After he left, to throw the slide over the wall. It would be gone by the next day, but a few days later, it would reemerge. One day after work, Matt, possibly myself, and a few of the kids that have since grown up took the whiteboard, right behind you guys, and we folded the toy slide and put a heavy rock on it. We pushed the whiteboard out to the middle of the lake and pushed the slide over. We have not seen the slide since. Matt quickly rose to be our supervisor over the years. In my personal opinion, I believe that he was the best supervisor head lifeguard Lake Mohawk will ever have. I was a freshman in college at the time, and I was taking summer classes to get adjusted to college. I was taking English 102 at Sussex County Community College, and the class ended at 11:45. I told Matt in advance about the class that took place on Tuesday and Thursday. I asked him if possible to put me at upper since that's the closest beach from Newton. I told him I would get there as quickly as possible, and to my surprise, he immediately scolded me, saying never put myself in harm's way getting to work. Matt knew that I would show up, and if I was a few minutes late, he knew it wasn't because I was slacking. Matt's strongest attribute as a supervisor was he was mentoring younger staff. He especially liked helping the younger staff who were teaching swim lessons. He would walk around constantly around lessons and give instructors some tips. To this day, I have not found a better instructor to teach someone how to dive better than Matt. Matt was a magnetic individual, and he loved the members of Lake Mohawk Country Club. I learned a lot from Matt. I adore my staff, as any of my staff members would agree. Well, most would at least. I get to know who my coworkers are. I know when they're getting the wisdom teeth out. I check up on them the following night, seeing how they're doing, how they're feeling. Is there anything I can do? I write letters of recommendation for a National Honor Society or for colleges. I learned this all by watching Matt communicate with his younger staff. I don't think I ever saw Matt lose his temper. Matt served as the big brother to me. I never taught any. One good thing about Matt that's not on here was he never taught me how to be a supervisor. Instead, I was one of those quiet kids. I don't know what happened in years gone. I talk a lot now, but I would always watch him. I watched him how to communicate, and that's how I learned this all through Matt. And I want to say thank you for raising a wonderful son that taught me a lot about life. When Matt passed away last year, I took it very hard. I hadn't seen him in years. I struggled to remember the last time I saw him. He always had this everything is alright smile. I learned that he inherited that smile from his father when I met Matt at the lake. The night I found out that Matt passed away, my mind was racing. I didn't know what to do. The light bulb in my head finally turned on for the first time that day. Matt loved this speech. Matt's parents loved this speech as well. They were trustees at this speech for years. Matt's legacy started at this speech, and it should never be forgotten. I decided that I wanted to honor Matt by putting a plaque on the back of the lifeguard chair so that Matt's legacy will not be forgotten. And so here we are today. In a matter of moments, I will reveal that plaque. However, before I do, I want to talk about the day that the plaque arrived. I don't really know what to believe when it comes to religion, and when it comes to looking over us, but on this day or two, I learned this thing about God. I was sitting in a staff meeting in the Mohawk room, listening to our general manager go over our agenda for that meeting. Meanwhile, I was thinking, you know, I should be getting that plaque from Newton Trophy real soon. Wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry, John. Within 2 minutes, I missed a phone call. It was a phone number I didn't recognize, and I thought, hey, it's important to leave me a voicemail. Lo and behold, they did. After the meeting, I checked to see it was from Newton Sport Trophy, calling to let me know that the plaque was ready. I must have given my best Eli Manning look because I couldn't believe myself. I was literally just thinking of that. About 10 minutes later, I got another call from Matt Lanigan asking him to call me. I called him immediately, and it's like, hey, I got something I have to tell you. I told him how I was thinking about the plaque at my staff meeting, and they called me during the meeting, and then 10 minutes later, I got a text message from you. Matt was a man of character. He loved each and every one of you. He loved being around people. Without you, his stories would never have existed. Now, it is my pleasure that I will unveil Matt's plaque that will remain at Alpine Pool, so people will never forget him. Thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of God, John's family. Thank you guys. Thank you all. Like Derek said, so much of our life was here growing up, and for those of us who had the pleasure to grow up here, it's forever in your body, in your life, in your heart. I want to thank Sparta Kids, New York Boys, our family and friends for being with us for the last 2 years. But lo and behold, sure, he's looking down with that shit-eating grin that every one of us who know him know what that grin is. Just shaking his head. So again, I just want to thank everybody and cheers. Yeah.
Thank you.
Time to drink.